My mom's like the oldest of the grandchildren.
Oh, okay.
They're all almost triple.
You're my,
One.
my second.
Is it okay if we sing happy birthday to you? Okay, ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gwendolyn. Happy birthday to you.
This game show has a reputation over the years of being a little bit racist. So I was very careful to pick questions that if there's no innuendo. If you take it as being anything but what it is, that's your fault. Okay? I did not design it in any way to be this way. So, as you know, we first have the wives leave the room. I think they're gone. All right. So, husbands, question number 1. Within 5, how many pairs of shoes does your wife own? Now, hopefully you can get this within 5. I'm not trying to, within 5. What, you have in your mind what she owns, and her mind, and there's probably 2 different numbers, but you have to think, is she going to answer what you think she has, or is she going to answer what she knows she has? So this is the trick. So, let's start with Gail. 10. 10 pairs of shoes, okay. All right, that's pretty safe, actually. Jay?
6.
Okay, so this is interesting. My wife would be in the way double digits on the high end of towards 3 digits. Glenn?
True.
True? I think that's what she's going to say. No, we need a number.
Oh. I'll use true as my backup.
Okay.
I'm going to say 27.
And Tim?
Let's go with 12.
12. The other choice I had was purses, and then I knew that would be a big number for my wife too. So. All right, let's start back on the end here on the next question. This is a real test. It would probably be easier if this was really the newlywed game.
What was that, Mary?
Since this is the old fogiewed game.
What was that?
Where did your first kiss take place? And this is with your wife, not someone else. Where? Not when,
I
but
don't know where the
where.
first one was with my wife, but I know the first one.
Okay. That's get yourself into trouble. All right, Tim, where did your first kiss take place?
Larch Mountain.
Larch Mountain. Okay. That's a pretty broad. Okay. Okay. All right, Glenn.
True. At a young single adult dance in Boise, in her Mustang.
Oh. Okay. Shall we ask front seat or back seat? No. Okay. True. All right, Jay. Now don't say it was on a curb.
No.
I can resist. No.
Wetlaufer's house, Mary Wetlaufer.
Okay. And Gail.
On the back of her hand.
All right, if you think that's what she's going to say, you can say that.
Other than that, I'd have to stand by it.
If that's what you give me, is that what answer are you going with, Gail? You want to go back of your hand? Back of her hand? Okay. All right. Question number 3. We'll send this over to Jay. What was the make and model of the first car you bought together? Blank. Blank. First car you bought together as a married couple.
Nissan Stanza.
Okay. Nissan Stanza. Glenn.
Chevy S10 Blazer.
Okay.
Candy apple red. And true.
Okay. Very true. Chevy S10 Blazer. All right, 10. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just the way the game's played.
Well, you need one rider for each person.
Almost. All right, Tim.
Okay, Ford Bronco.
Ford Bronco. Okay. Gail.
Dodge Corvette.
Dodge Corvette.
9.
Wow. Okay. Cool. All right.
I'll tell you a story about that.
Those three.
Front seat or back seat?
That's right. All right. Those 3 was. Okay. You need a second. Okay.
So Dodge Coronet for number 1.
Right.
What was number 2?
On Stanza.
And Glenn?
Chevy S10 Blazer. That's the problem.
You got 2 cars mixed up.
Yeah. And then Ford Bronco for
We
Tim.
got a
Ford Bronco. Okay. Now Bill's first 3 questions were worth 15 points apiece. This one's worth 25 points.
Wish you would have told me that sooner.
Okay. If you could choose, would you rather have more to comb on top, or less real estate around the middle? Yeah, remember this?
Let's refer to ourselves.
And that's right. This is for yourself. Yes.
How's your wife going to answer?
And how's your wife going to answer that question? We'll go back to Gail.
No, Glenn gets
True. I don't want to mix them up anymore. Gail, what's your answer?
less real estate around the middle.
Okay. Jay.
What are the choices?
More to comb on top or less real estate around the middle?
More on top.
Okay. As you suck it in. All right, Glenn.
Less real estate.
Okay. And Tim.
No stability, less around the middle.
I'm going to say, you got, you're going to find on both sides. So maybe.
I can't pat and rub at the same time.
You can't tell that's
All right.
a 2.
All right, let's bring the wives back. We'll start out with question number 1 for 15 points. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
There's stuff written that we're seeing.
That's right. So you pick up the one on top, and you'll show it. They should have them in that order. So before you show it, make sure you go ahead and just hold it in your lap, Gail. Yeah, and if you have it on top.
She's a school teacher. She can read through anything.
All right, Gail, so you're going to flip up your answer when she gives it, and we'll see if it matches.
Okay.
Okay, and it should be the one that's face down on top. All right, so question number 1. How many pairs of shoes do you own, Sally? Remember, your husband, Gail, gave this answer. And if you get it within 5, you get the 15 points. Yeah. And he said 10. Very good. Now in tradition, you're supposed to kiss each other after you get a right answer. Okay. And if you get the wrong answer, you hit him with the... Okay. Jerry, what do you think Jay said? Same question. How many pairs of shoes? You have no idea. So you have to think like Jay. What would you think you have?
But if you have to have a number, or is that what he said? I have no idea.
No, that's Glenn, the one who said true. So come up with a number, Jerry.
It was less than 100.
So kind of. Okay.
Well, then tell us how many shoes you have.
Just give us.
You took a wild guess.
So tell us the truth.
I don't know myself, so.
Okay. You gotta have a number, Jerry.
All those shoes in your wardrobe.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Go ahead.
12.
And he said, nope, 6. Oh, missed it by 1. So. All right, maybe.
Well, in actuality, I probably own 30, but he probably said 100, so I'm going to guess 50.
I said it was going to be between 25 and 30, so if I hit 27, you'd be right.
You get the points. You went within 5.
No,
No, she said 50.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. There you go.
But I was right.
All right, Jeanette, what did Ken say?
I'm like sitting here counting my closet in my head because I was going to go last. I think I probably have close to 20 or 25, so I'll say 25.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I have something that hangs in there that has like 3 hairs at each slot. So that's all.
He said that you even have it named after 12 apostles.
All right, very good. All right, question number 2. We'll go back to the, it doesn't really matter now. We'll go back to this end. We'll start at the other end. Where, Jeanette, where did your first kiss take place? Now we had to clarify, we had to be your first kiss intense.
It's a location, not on your body.
That's exactly where we weren't supposed to go.
How detailed of a location do you need?
What do you think he said? That's what you have to come up with. We just stick with what he said.
I think it's Larch Mountain and it was in the pickup.
Large Mountain, all right. Okay, kiss, kiss. All right, Nadine. You know he said true, but what did we get him to say?
Ford Mustang after a steak dance.
Jerry?
Outside by the car.
Answers.
It was in front of the house I was living in at the time.
Which was?
The Wet Walker's house.
Okay, bring your answer. All right. All right, so.
Well, I want to say it was in Grandma McKenzie's dining room, but I could be wrong.
Oh, well.
I was living with them when Gillian was baby.
All right, so is that your answer? He said. I think he needs a whack for that one. All right, very good. Question number 3. We'll start with Jay and Jerry. What was the make and the model of the first car you bought together?
making money. Is that enough?
Alright, was that enough?
Yeah.
He's on standard. Okay, we'll give him the points. Okay, they don't kiss you.
Probably the most.
Alright, Nadine.
It was a red Chevy. It's not a Tahoe. It only had 2 doors, but the back went down. It's kind of like, I don't remember what it was called.
The back went down.
You know, the back seat went down, so it was kind of,
Your answer? S10, Chevy S10.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Jeanette.
Oh, the first one we bought together was a baby blue and white Ford Bronco from his sister.
Very good. Good.
Don't give me like that.
All right. Mary, can we have an update on scores? Oh, I'm sorry. This is the last one. That's right. Sally.
Well, I'm trying to remember it from so long ago. I know we had a Ford Falcon, but I think the first one we actually bought after we got married, I think he bought an old police car that was painted green.
You know the make and model?
I don't know the name of that.
Was that the car?
It was a green Dodge Cornet, and the story that goes with it, I was working in an orchard and painted it. And this was an old state of Idaho car that had been basically immigration use and different government agencies. I drove, Sally come up to the orchard one day to have lunch with me, and all the wetbacks left. They seen that car coming in.
All
And they well, you're not going to turn like that. Illegal immigrants at the time.
All right, did we give him that?
That generation.
Yay. Okay, we gave it back to Dylan. Gary, we need to see an update on the scores. It's a 4-way tie. Oh, wow. 30 points apiece, okay. Okay, here's your final question for the husbands. If they were given the choice, would your husband rather have more to comb on top or less real estate around the middle? Nadine, we'll start with you.
true. I'll have to say more real estate around the middle.
You mean less real estate?
She's always been a chubby chick.
Well, what did you answer? Less real estate. All right, so it's going to be tough.
She would have had faith in my shoe answer. We would have been perfect.
All right, we'll go over to Jeanette and Tim.
Plenty of hair on top, I have to cut it all the time, so I'd say less real estate around.
And his answer is? Wow! 2-way tie.
Listen to that. There you go.
Okay. Sally, what did you answer? Very good. Yay! All right. Jared. Oh, that's a little cheating.
I say more comb on top.
All right. Now we'll introduce the husbands.
What's up?
Okay, wives. Question number 1. If he had to choose, would your husband rather go A, clothes shopping with you, or B, clean the toilets? Or clean the toilets. We'll go in order on this one. Sally? Clothes shopping. That's impressive. Gary?
Clothes shopping.
Wow.
Clean the toilet.
I would have predicted that one.
I was gonna guess clean the toilets, but then I remembered he was in the army, and so I'll have to go clothes shopping. Even though that didn't go very well the one time we tried it.
Okay. All right, question number 2. What's the one piece of furniture in your house that really needs to go?
That he thinks needs to go, or that we both think needs to go.
That's what you have to determine.
What's he gonna use?
What-
Couch.
Is he going to say what you think, or is he going to say what he thinks? The question, Sally.
What the kids think, they're young.
I don't know, we don't really have any of that one. We bought new stuff when we were joining house, pretty much.
So I have to come up with something.
Broken recliner, I guess.
Okay.
I'm sure she's gonna get little. I'm 5 years old now.
That's a tough one.
Gotta come up with something.
Well, I don't know.
What's the one piece of furniture in your house that really needs to go? What'd you say?
I didn't get
Still trying to figure
Okay,
this one out.
I'll skip ahead.
Come
Maybe.
back to me.
His recliner.
His recliner. Okay, see that?
I guess I'd have to say couch, which is the oldest thing I have, but.
Okay. All right, Jerry. We're going to give you a blank.
I'll say couch. Couch
Okay.
in the family room.
Okay. Question number 3. What is the one food item you do or would stash away for yourself?
For ourselves,
For yourself.
so that they wouldn't get it.
Exactly. Or your kids wouldn't get it, or your husband wouldn't get it.
That's easy.
Could you stash away for yourself?
That's an easy one.
Okay, but he'd have to know about it, so. Okay. Sally?
Well, then, that's not gonna have to stash it.
I know.
You didn't say where.
That's right.
I would say chocolate.
Just chocolate, okay.
Chocolate.
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay. Just, yeah, should we make it be more specific, or just any chocolate?
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Any
Okay.
chocolate.
Reese's peanut butter cup. All right, Jeanette?
Chocolate.
Okay. Rough
If
one.
he answers mine correct, I should get more points.
Yeah.
Because mine is specific.
Specific chocolate. All right. 25-point bonus question. And this is the only, I'm not clarifying this at all. Speaking of chocolate, plain or peanut?
Speaking of chocolate,
Plain or peanut? Sally? Jared?
Peanut.
Peanut.
Peanut? All
Did
right.
you say what?
They all said peanut. All right, Philip, bring them on in. All right, question number 1. How did your wives answer this question? If you had the choice, would you rather A, go clothes shopping with your wife, or B, clean the toilets? Let's start down at the end with Sally. And she said you would rather, look it up, Sally.
I don't remember which one it is.
Should be the top one.
What does he want to look like?
Can you say it?
I got that one right.
It should be the top one. Clothes shopping. Did not get that one. Feel free to whack them. All right. Jay, what did Jerry say?
Well, I know what I'd rather do.
Well, what do you think she said?
She's pretty smart, so she knows I'd rather do toilet paper.
Well, she said. All right, Glenn.
True.
Does that mean you'll do both? I think that means he'll do either one.
Toilets, I'll do toilets.
shopping. She did all right, question number 2. What is the one piece of furniture in your house that really needs to go? Let's start at the other end, Jeanette. Tim, what did Jeanette say?
It really needs to go.
Do I look like a...
I don't want to suggest anything.
Because it will be gone by Tuesday morning.
The one piece of furniture that really needs to go. Couch.
All right, Glenn, what is it? Now, if you say true, she's got carte blanche to...
If you would have asked us 3 weeks ago, I would have said it was a sectional couch, but it's not. I'm going to say the big projection TV downstairs.
And she said, your recliner. All right, Jay, what did Jerry say?
This is tough.
I know, there's enough for her too. I think I need to give the Mackleys a time buzzer.
I'm just going to throw out a wild guess and say the dining room chair.
And she said, the couch in the family room.
You would think you don't like that couch.
Well, you don't have to take him clothes shopping. You can go take
All right, Gail, what did Sally say?
Well, I'm going to say that we've got a brown plastic chair.
And well, Sally, what did you actually say? The broken recliner. This was a stumping question. I think only...
Did we all get it wrong?
No?
They got it right.
Smarty pants over there.
All right, and now for your fourth, let's see, Mary, can you give us an update on the scores?
55, 55, 70, 85.
So, for 25 points, a 25-point bonus question, and for...
What about
Oh,
question
we
3?
got the...
Forgot question 3.
Yeah, you forgot. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we will go now to Jane Jerry. What is the one food item that your wife stashes away for herself?
Obviously, he's never found it.
Or he's thinking about his own stash.
She stashes things, but not always for herself. That's the tricky part. But I would think maybe a bag of potato chips.
What she said?
Potato chip.
Okay, well, that's Glenn's answer. True is Glenn's answer. All right, Glenn.
She's pretty protective of tomato juice, the uncanny tomato juice.
Well,
But I don't think that's it. Because I find little greases hidden.
you definitely deserve those points.
She gets a bonus point.
Yeah.
What she doesn't know is those Reese's piles get a little bit less and less every time.
You say you told your average weight for her?
I do.
All right, Tim, what did Jeanette say?
Chocolate.
All right. Gail, what did Sally say? Ice cream. Well, Sally, what did you say? Well,
That's probably the one I thought that.
Chocolate. Oh. Guys, the one answer, they all pretty much answered the same, except for Nadine got specific, so we were impressed. Okay, here is your 25 points bonus question, Mary. I'm sorry, for the final update on the scores.
Okay, yeah. 55, 55, 85, 100.
Okay, so for last place, Gail and Sally, if you get this question right, you'll still be in last place. But you could, well, you could be second to last, unless they tie you and you get last. But the question is, plain or peanut? Well, we know you're not going to be in last place by yourself. And Sally said, what was her answer? Chocolate.
Go chocolate.
Peanut. All right.
What's the question?
Plain or peanut? That's the question.
Well, no, it's the answer, so he answered.
That's the question. Plain or peanut? That's all. You answer it. It's based on that question only. Plain or peanut? And she said, peanut. So, Gail and Sally, you are not in the last place. All right, so what did Nadine and Glenn have? So 85 with 25 points could give you 110 for the first place. Plain or peanut? The pressure's on.
Peanut.
Answer peanut. All right. So it all comes down to you, Sam and Jeanette.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure. Now this would be impressive, especially since you have been married probably the least amount of time. So this is what you have to look forward to.
Second.
Well, I can't overanalyze it, so peanut.
False.
And the answer is peanut. All right, so Kim and Jeanette Myers, you are our grand prize winners today. And since you did answer the question right.
Peanut?
They might give you a little handful on the way out. So, yeah, I'm curious. How long
I have my party gift.
Oh, so that's not working. Sally and Gail, how long have you been married?
I'm 36.
We must be 37.
Must be 37.
I was born on their first anniversary.
Okay.
I'm present.
So 37. Jay, Jerry?
30.
30 years.
We agree on that.
Okay. Woo, you should get some points for that, I think.
27.
27? Man. 18.
27 glorious years.
All right, let's all give them a hand. You are excused.
Oh yeah. Next time you're going down.
I think what I would like to emphasize is the fact that most of us live in an area where the church is pretty strong. There's several wards and there's several states. The temple is not too far away. But in Mississippi they don't have them that close, and they don't have that many wards or branches. When we did Kosciuszko, they had a little church, but they only had 7 or 8 people that came out on Sundays. And one time we were looking for a cemetery. We made a wrong turn out in the middle of nowhere, and there was one of our little chapels sitting right out in the middle. I don't know what branch it was or anything about it, but it was right out in the middle of nowhere, and I was so surprised. And then when we were coming home, we were going over a mountain, and there at the base of the mountain, before we started to climb, was another one of our buildings. So they're all over, but they're out in the middle of nowhere, and people have to travel probably 30, 40, 50, 60 miles to go to church. And how many of you have to travel that far? You don't, do you? So we want to be thankful that we have the church so close, and it is so active. that we have no excuse to not go and not be active. And I appreciated that part of the journey, just to know that the church is there, but it is slowly growing in those areas. A lot of Baptist churches. This one little town, I think it had 20 Baptist churches in it. But it is important for us to be thankful that we live in an area that we can have a church so close.
So if you didn't follow the blog and you want to know what we did, you have to look at the blog. Grande Trails is what it's called. The thing I think I remember most is the opportunity we had to visit Liberty Jail and to know that it was an actual place where Joseph Smith was. That was quite an experience to be in Independence. I enjoyed traveling and seeing the places where our ancestors had to travel, where they tried to settle, the kind of wilderness it was, just to be in that area and to know the things that they had to do and put up with. To visit a cemetery that had just a few wooden crosses and to know the area, that's where they lived, and to see where they homesteaded, and it was wonderful to be able to feel of their spirit as we traveled across the trails that they traveled across. Everyone come out and make a trip to do genealogy, but you know, we're all doing genealogy all the time. How many of you are doing indexing? That is a big, big part of doing genealogy. So I think sometimes we forget, and we all think, oh, I'm going to make this fabulous trip, or I'm going to make this big discovery of a name or a book. And it comes in little pieces when the time is right. And that's what I'd like to all remember, to not quit. And every little thing you do is important in genealogy. So don't stop and families together, and that's how we keep things going. That's what we're supposed to do.
I want to talk a little bit to the kids here, if we could. Grandpa McKenzie was a linotype operator, so he made for newspapers. He did that for years and years and years. He was very good at it. It was like the word processors or the computers of his day. And he worked at that for many years, and I was very impressed by that, to realize that he would do that because of his love for his wife and his family, to provide for them. But his real love was something called gold. Gold was what he really liked. He wanted to find gold, and he looked and looked and looked. So he and I went sometimes to look for gold. We went to northern Nevada, usually, in the car. And we'd go down there, we'd stay on a Friday night, and Saturday we'd go out and look for gold. And one time we were there looking for gold, and we walked up a hill. And I want to preface this by saying that we were very careful. We didn't do this to hurt anybody. We went up this hill, and we kind of got bored, I guess, looking for this gold. And we rolled one or two rocks down the hill, and that's pretty fun. And the car was down there, and we were up on the hill, and we rolled a couple other rocks, and they go a little ways and stop. And then we found a really big rock, like half the size of one of these tables. And it was kind of flat on one side. So both of us pushed really hard to get it up. We just got it to roll. We'd go 3 or 4 feet and flop on its side. We finally got it up to where it would roll, and then it rolled, and it rolled, and it rolled, and started to bounce. Started to bounce 10 feet in the air each time it hit. It bounced. And then we realized it was headed right for the car. And so we just both stood there with our mouths open, and it bounced right over the top. We were sure we were going to hit that car right there. So we had a lot of fun together looking for gold. One time when I was in high school, I found an old pickup truck. You know, I always had to go out looking for gold in our car, which wasn't very good to look for gold. So I found an old pickup truck, and I talked with him and went down and bought this old truck. It was a 1950 Chevy. It would be really old today, but it was only about 20 years old then, and it's 15 years. We found that truck, and we went and used that a couple times to look for gold. But I was in the junior in high school at that point, and I really wanted something new. What I really wanted was a motorcycle. So I talked to him and mother, and let me say that When I talk about grandfather here, I can't talk about him alone. They were a pair and a team together. And she was every bit his equal as far as intelligence and ability to do things. So we talked about it, and grandmother told me how to buy a really nice bicycle, and he chuckled at that, I think, because he knew better than that. And so I really wanted that, but I figured, well, we had this pickup truck, and that would be good for him. He could use it to get gold. When I went on mission, he'd still have it to use. One day I came out of high school, I walked down the street, and it was an orange pickup truck. Somebody painted it orange with white wheels. It was pretty shiny. But I walked down there, and there he was sitting in the truck. So when I came out of school, I thought, well, why is he here? I've done something. But so I came down and went to see the truck, and he said, let's go get it. And I said, well, he said, let's go get the motorcycle. So we went and we traded that truck in and got a motorcycle. And he gave up that day, even though he had a love for gold, he gave up that pickup truck he'd always wanted so that one of his kids could have what they wanted. And he and mother did that for their whole life. He had a lot of things that we did, and we got that motorcycle on a Thursday. I went to school on Friday, and on Monday was Memorial Day, which is this weekend, like tomorrow, Monday. As I was riding with one of my friends, and he was on his motorcycle, I got pulled over by the police. And they said, how come you don't have a license plate? I said, well, I just bought it Thursday, and he said, well, you have 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever. I said, well, okay, so I got the ticket, and Dad was showing me how to take care of a ticket, so we went down to the city hall there in Boise, right across from where the Idaho station was. And we went in, and he went to the desk, and the lady said, now you can either pay the fine, it's a non-moving violation, it's not a big deal. Pay the fine, and you can go see the judge. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to see the judge. Okay. So we went in to see the judge. And the judge is up there in robes and the whole 9 yards. And so we got in there to see the judge, and the judge said, now, how do you plead? And I said, well, I'm not guilty, not guilty. The judge said, do you want a jury trial, or do you want, and I could see Grandpa said, no, we don't want a jury trial for a non-moving violation. So I said, I don't really want a jury trial, and anyway, it ended up I just could explain it to the judge, and he dismissed it. But I had him pretty concerned then, my dad, at that point. But he had a lot of sayings, and I know just a few of them. I know my sisters and my brother know a lot more of them, but when I was about, let's see, your age, I think, or about your age, and my sister's going to attest to this because they had to take care of me. I was under the bench at church, and I was up on the bench. I was under the bench going this way and that way, and so he said to me, you need to sit on the bench. So I thought I had a really smart answer for that. And I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, why don't you listen to the speaker? I'd never thought of that. So he had some really good answers. I tried several times to try to match wits with him, and I couldn't. When I came back from college, I thought I could try it. I couldn't. Some of the classes he hadn't had, of course, physics and things, but when it came to understanding the politics and international affairs, no one was smarter than him. I just never could do it. The other saying he had is he told me one time that what he was told, he said he was told by his father that you'll never have enough money to get married, you'll never have enough money to have children. And that's the advice he gave me, and it's been very sound advice through the years. One last thing I wanted to share with you is one day when he was living in Caldwell, in the little house behind where Vicki had, he turned to me one day and he said, the Lord is a man's man. And I thought about that many times, and that's my testimony to you, that from him, that Jesus Christ is indeed a man's man, and our Savior, in Jesus Christ. Amen.